Hi everyone, I'm Laura Gadenig. I'm an astrologer and a therapist, and I'm here to give you the astrology for the weeks of January 27th through February 9th, 2025. So today, Monday, January 27th, we have Mercury heading into Aquarius, which is where both the Sun and Pluto are. So this brings additional emphasis to the part of your chart that contains Aquarius and whatever house that is for you. Those themes are continuing to be emphasized. And Mercury in Aquarius will have our mentality, our conversations, our minds largely focus on Aquarian themes. What are Aquarian themes but community, big groups, friends, organizations, collecting with people in a bigger gathering sort of way. So that's kind of generally speaking when the sign of Aquarius is highlighted by planets moving through, we're kind of maybe seeking more of those archetypal themes in our lives. And Mercury is also going to conjoin with Pluto on Wednesday, January 29th. And Pluto is Lord of the underworld, Lord of things that are hidden or secret. So when Mercury conjoins Pluto, a couple things are possible. First of all, there might be things about groups or organizations that you're part of that were previously hidden. Something might be revealed. Something might come to light that was dark or unknown or kind of swept under the rug before. So that's one possibility. Aquarius is also a sign very much so about those on the fringes of society and those who don't have as much power. Aquarius is a Saturn ruled sign, and Saturn represents the boundary of what we can see in the sky and that which is beyond. And Aquarius often represents that which is beyond the boundary, kind of like, let's push the rules, let's change the norms, innovation, revelation, kind of updating things. This is very Aquarian. Aquarius is very idealistic, a very, very visionary, forward thinking. And so when Mercury conjoins with Pluto in Aquarius, we might have really intense ideas or ideologies. Oh my gosh, that's such a hard word. Come to our mind around like, this is what I want to say, or this is what I want to do. This is what I want to kind of put my mental energy towards. Things that are progressive or visionary, or things that you're like, okay, we've been doing this thing for so long and it's like not working. And so it's time to start something else, try something new, innovate, basically. So there's going to be a lot of emphasis on wanting to update or innovate intensely, deeply, maybe even looking at the structures that haven't really been, that are like no longer working. And like, it's kind of like, okay, this isn't working anymore. We have to really, step outside of this paradigm into this new paradigm. So it's kind of, those are some thoughts around, Mercury conjoined Pluto. Some general themes in addition to that: Mercury is the mind, Pluto wants to go deep. So you might have an intense desire to focus deeply on something, to research, to uncover, to get to the bottom of something, to get to the truth. Now this can be really great on the one hand, because you can, gain a deeper sense of knowledge around something, but also it can lend itself to rumination or obsessiveness or looking too deeply into things, and a little bit of paranoia. So just something to be mindful of or watch out for. What is the line between seeking truth and getting to the bottom of something and being paranoid and obsessive and like focusing too much on something? So the other more positive possibility is the transformation of the mind. Pluto represents death and rebirth, transformation, and Mercury is the mind. So you might have some sort of insight around like, oh, I've been thinking this all along when really it hasn't been serving me, and I'm going to focus my mind over here. So there might be kind of a death and rebirth process in terms of where your mind is focusing, or the way that you're communicating with someone or with people. So yes, that is Mercury entering Aquarius, conjoining with Pluto. On Thursday, January 30th, we have Uranus stationing direct at 23 degrees of Taurus. Uranus has been in Taurus since 2018. And we've been getting a lot of innovations, updates, radical changes to the part of our charts that contain Taurus. So now Uranus is going to be moving forwards and entering Gemini later in the year, in July of this year, 2025. So this is kind of our last stint of Uranus in Taurus. So if you have planets at the later degrees, 23 to 30 degrees of the fixed signs, Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, or Leo, you're going to feel this more so. And this is kind of like the last chapter of maybe big shifts, radical changes you've had to make. On this day as well, Thursday, January 30th, we have the Sun making a trine to Jupiter, currently retrograde still. The Sun is our conscious awareness, what we recognize and what becomes illuminated, our sense of self. Jupiter is faith, spirituality, our belief system, our sense of generosity and abundance. So this is a day where we might be feeling more inspired, more open-minded, more generous, more optimistic. And there might be even some opportunities coming your way, or something, just a more positive spin to the day. February 1st, Saturday, we have Venus making a conjunction with Neptune and the North Node in Pisces. Venus is exalted in the sign of Pisces, meaning she can do all the Venusian things that she wants to do, which is relax, make art, do things that are pleasurable and leisurely, connect with people, cuddle. So this upcoming weekend, you might just feel this like, I just want to lay around and relax. And I would say don't plan for too much. Plan a leisurely weekend, get into some art or creative projects, music, dance, meditation. It's a very romantic weekend as well. The one thing to watch out for with Venus and Neptune is that, especially in the sign of Pisces, is Neptune has this very glimmery effect. So it can make things, people, situations appear a lot more beautiful than they really are. And I don't want to say that to say that they're not really beautiful, but we might be missing something. There can be sometimes a sense of either self-deception or real deception with Neptune. And so, it's maybe not the best day to like go out on a date with a new person and then, it's likely that, or it's possible that you might really romanticize someone or put someone up on a pedestal, or really not see red flags, that sort of thing. So something to be mindful of. Also on this day though, Venus and Neptune together is the epitome of forgiveness and understanding. And so this could be a moment of healing in relationships, but also the bleeding heart and martyrdom. So also just take note of personal boundaries and what your own needs are was what I recommend. And we'll be returning to this moment because Venus is going to enter Aries eventually and then station retrograde. And then she'll be retrograding back through Aries and into Pisces again. So she's going to come back to this moment with Neptune around March 28th, 29th. So this is kind of like chapter 1 of a 3-part series. And I actually didn't write down the third pass of Venus in Neptune, probably like March, April, May or something. So yes, pay attention to what comes up for you on Saturday, February 1st. Monday, February 3rd, Mercury in Aquarius makes the same trine to Jupiter that the Sun just made. So this is kind of similar themes of maybe having some healing conversations, some understanding, some forgiveness, some broadening of your mind or of your perspective to see things from a different light, a different viewpoint. You might notice a desire to study something spiritual or religious, or to engage in some sort of practice. And you should notice that for a couple of days. So that will be a really nice energy. And then Tuesday, February 4th, Jupiter stations direct, which is really nice. Jupiter's been retrograding since October 9th of 2024 in Gemini. So whatever house that is for you in your chart, it might have felt like a reversal of luck, or kind of something being taken away, or you've been heavily reviewing something in that part of your chart where Gemini is for the last several months. And so when Jupiter starts moving forwards again, it's kind of like, okay, I've been reflecting, integrating, and now I'm going to be moving forwards with this like newfound knowledge or wisdom or information that I have as Jupiter starts to move forwards again in the sign of Gemini. Okay, and on the same day, Tuesday, February 4th, Venus heads into Aries. So once again, Venus is a planet about relationships, love, beauty, self-expression, art, connection. And Venus heading into Aries brings a more direct, brave quality to relationships and to the way you connect with others, being a little more bold, potentially, upfront, and also less peacekeeping, less kind of relaxing. Venus in Pisces is like, oh, I'm just gonna go get a massage and, go dance. I'm not gonna do anything really that hard or strenuous. And Venus in Aries is more like, I'm gonna engage in art and in ways that are bold, or in ways that require a lot of power and strength. Like I think about like silks or other acrobatics it's like art, but it's like requires a lot of strength. I feel like that's very Venus in Aries. So Venus will be in Aries for, let's see, not too long, because then she'll retrograde. Let's see, how long will Venus be in Aries? So she'll be in Aries until March 27th. So plenty of time to review those themes. Okay, February 7th, Friday. So this is next Friday. Venus makes a sextile to Pluto in Aquarius. So this is easeful energy, sextiles. Pluto, power, depth, intensity, passion, things beneath the surface. Also eroticism. So Venus coming together with Pluto can bring a lot of erotic sexual energy. There might be, once again, more bold pursuits of pleasure or connection, transformations in how we engage in relationships. So, making some deep-seated changes in how you can find connection with others. That's very Venus-Pluto. And then Sunday, February 9th, Mercury and the Sun come together in Aquarius. They conjoin at 20 degrees of Aquarius. And this is always a moment of insight or new awareness whenever the Sun and Mercury come together. This is called a cazimi. When any planet enters the heart of the Sun, that planet's significations is illuminated or brightened. And so we're going to have some sort of insight, some sort of aha moment, some sort of new awareness or realization around Aquarian themes. Once again, community, groups, large organizations you're part of, people who are on the fringes of society, or things that are like things that you have visions or ideals around. So pay attention to your thoughts, pay attention to what you need, to conversations you're having, to things you're reading, to things you're talking about or gathering in groups and communities. It'll all be insightful or contribute to some sort of new knowledge. Same day, Mars in Cancer makes a trine to Saturn in Pisces. These are the two malefic planets coming together in a harmonious aspect. And not to say that malefic planets are like always bad, but they just require us to do harder work. So Mars is our energy, our action, go, go, go. Mars has been retrograde for some time in Cancer. So if you've been feeling really low energy and unmotivated and kind of slogged down, you're not alone. A lot of people have been feeling that, and that's because, first of all, Mars retrograde isn't really a time to be moving forwards in things necessarily, and especially with Mars in Cancer, it's kind of like we're like trying to run in water. It's just like hard and slow and sluggish, and we're having to work through intense emotional material. But anyway, this trine, Mars trine Saturn, is like a moment of like, okay, I have this goal and this task, and it's time to do it. There's this sense of like slow productivity, being able to start something, follow through on something, work hard at something, and you're kind of like patiently grinding away. So it's good energy to work on a project that requires patience and diligence, I would say. So, okay, so that is the astrology for the next couple of weeks. If you're interested in how this shows up for you, or how this shows up for you specifically, I'm available for consultations. Please reach out. And otherwise, I will be back for another astrological update in a couple of weeks, and I hope you have a wonderful couple of weeks. Take care.